everyone, hi! As you can see from the title of this video, it's another jumper transformation today. I know Christmas jumper day is coming up, so I wanted to gift you in the season of giving with a way to sustainably have a Christmas jumper in your wardrobe. So you could do this with any jumper that you've got lying around. I'm just going to use this one, which I found at Beyond Retro. It's 100% wool Farrell jumper, but you can use anything. You could use an old Christmas jumper if you think it needs an update. You could use a plain jumper, a jumper that's slightly festive like mine, but you want to go extra gaudy. Because I just think Christmas jumper day, as great as it is because it raises money for charity, also encourages fast fashion purchasing of non-sustainably made, normally plastic-based jumpers. So it's a piece that will be worn for a very limited amount of time, that's made from non-sustainable materials that will take a very, very long time to break down. So grab any old piece of thread you've got in your house and I'll show you how I'm gonna make a start on this. Obviously, I'm just going to use my illustration, but you could do any pattern you want. This is feeling very art attack. I'm going to do a reindeer, which is based on some Christmas cards that I have available on my shop. So I currently have these Christmas cards available on my shop. They're very limited edition, so they're available at the time of recording, but they might not be anymore. But go check them out. There'll be a link below. But yeah, I'm going to base my design on this guy. So I'm going to take his head and embroider it on the front. I'll put up a picture of my design idea here so you can see, and you can use this. I'm totally happy for you to use this design on your own, get busy with embroidery, that's completely fine. Like, I want this page and my Instagram and just my online presence in general to help everybody feel as empowered by craft as I do, and I genuinely believe that the future of fashion is people editing and making and seizing the means of production of their own clothes. So please, if you want to join in and do like a make along or tag me, please do. I would love to see. So I've already done a little test stitch on the back of this piece for the yarn that I was going to use. I have a choice of these two. This is 100% wool, I think it's merino wool that is left over from a client commission, and this is mohair that was found in a charity shop. I think I'm going to go with the mohair because I like how chunky it looks like compared to the thickness of here. Like this, I don't think is going to read once it's like a full garment. So I've grabbed a ball of this mohair that I'm using. I'm actually not sure what the content is. I think it's probably mohair polyester that I literally found it in a charity shop. The best yarns are always found there, I always find. I'm going to use this to embroider because I think the thickness is good, and also I like the fact that it's like fuzzy, and when it's washed I think it'll go even fuzzier and it'll really stand out from this like quite loud knit. This really blends into the jumper I'm wearing. I'm going to unpick this test stuff that I did, and then the first step is obviously snip off your labels, get all your materials laid out. So I've got this mohair, some scissors, some safety pins, which will come in handy later, a blunt needle, which I'm going to use, which looks like this. And I also, on my laptop opposite me, sorry about the messy studio, have my design laid out. So you can see every single thing that I need to embroider is already there. So I have some loose threads around this tag and I'm just going to snip them off, but the tag's quite flappy and might be a bit irritating, so I'm going to actually, at the end, I'll stitch this tag down so it's like nice and snug and won't irritate people's necks. Yeah, you can see from the tag as well that it's 100% pure new wool, just there. And there's a little polar bear. I love vintage tags. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the design around the cuffs first, see how long that takes me, because then I'll know how realistic it is to do the design around the neck and the hem as well as the reindeer. The order I'm going to do it in is cuffs of the sleeves, reindeer, hem, and then the neck last, I think. And I feel like this neck looks a little bit Kermit the Frog-ish, but I don't think that's a bad thing. It's Christmas, like we're going for gaudy, like it's what we want. Normally if I had a project like this and I was using charity shop yarn and it was in a ball that was as confused as that one, I would take it out and wind it into a cake on a yarn winder. But because I'm just getting small lengths of yarn, I don't think I need to do that for this. So I just grab a longer piece of yarn, just like that, thread it through my needle. This is just a blunt darning needle. You can use whatever you have around the house. You could use embroidery thread for this. You could use string if you wanted to, if you were feeling creative. And then I'm gonna just refer to my image and start sewing. So I'm gonna start on the back, just in case I don't like it and I want to unpick it. So what I'll do is I'll push the needle through, and then I'll leave a length of yarn about 10 to 15 centimeters hanging out of the hole. So I'll sew this in later, but you just want to leave it loose for now. And then I literally use the gaps in the stitches where I insert my needle and just pull it through like that. So this is quite a big stitch. I'm aiming for quite a chunky feel with this one. And then again, I'll just put the needle in to the hole. This is a bit of a weird angle for me. Hopefully you can see. And then push it through another hole. So you're not damaging your knit at all. So you could always unpick this if you wanted to and just have your jumper back at the end of the day. So it just makes stitches like that. And then I'll just continue in a zigzag pattern like I've illustrated. So when you come to do the circles on the cuffs that I've illustrated, if you're following my illustration, if you're doing your own, feel free to do whatever you want. I would pull through at the top of the point of the zigzag. So you can see that is one end of a zigzag and the other end will come down here. And then just find where you want your circle to start at the bottom. So I want mine to start here and then pull through, and there'll be a really small tail at the back, but you can literally sew your circle now and then go back through the back and then just join back over here. So I've just finished stitching my circle like that. It's so cute already. And don't worry about being super neat, because I think the beauty of these pieces, I mean, the secondhand September jumper, the cat vest, the pieces that I've previously done, which you can see on my Instagram page if you don't know what I'm talking about. I think the beauty of them is that they look hand drawn, and that's what you're doing. You're just drawing with thread here. So just don't worry about being too neat. So as you can see, now the back looks like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just reinsert my needle back out to join back through to the zigzag. And I'm just using a back stitch. So what I do is I push it through as if I'm going to sew, and then I go under. So you're kind of weaving through the stitches. So it comes out like that, and then you rejoin back up with the previous stitch. Just like that. So we've got 2 zigzags now. I think it looks great so far, actually. I was a bit worried that it wouldn't stand out compared to the Fair Isle, but I actually think it looks really cool. So we just continue around the cuff in this zigzag pattern now. So I've just reached the end of my yarn. As you can see, I barely have any left. So what I've just done is I've pulled the yarn through, just there. And then I'm going to turn my knit inside out. And then I'm going to just weave the end in. Just swap to this top-down camera because this makes so much more sense. I don't know what I was fanning about with before. So what you need to do is, so you've pulled your yarn back through, and then you need to follow the stitches and pull your yarn through, just like this. This is just how I sew in ends. So there's lots of different ways to do it. I'm not saying that this is the right way. I just find that this is the most secure and neat way to do it. And I like to do about 5 stitches on the top and 5 stitches on the bottom, just like that. And then I snip it off. And then this will go in my yarn scraps box. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back and do the one at the front so I don't have loads of ends sticking out. So that's neatly bound off now. and there's no loose threads. So I just carry on the entire way around this sleeve, doing exactly the same thing. So I've just finished embroidering the sleeve. It looks so friggin' cute. And because I use 2 bits of yarn, it kind of has a bit more stretch in it. And try not to make the stitches too tight, because it can cause the knit to not stretch as well and like make it bunch weird and stuff like that. So yes, this sleeve is finished. I'm gonna go eat some sushi for my lunch and then continue with the other one. So I just got back from my lunch and then quickly finished both of the sleeves. So that's 1 part down, 3 other parts to go. But yeah, they didn't take me too long, but obviously they're a lot smaller than the other sections. I think they look pretty cute so far. So now I'm gonna start on the reindeer, and what I'm gonna do before I start it, I'm gonna safety pin like the toppest point, the highest point that I want the reindeer to go to, where the antlers finish, where the nose kind of hits, and then the lowest point. So then I've got like guidelines, and the width as well actually. So then I've got guidelines to work towards, so I'm not just like sewing randomly. So as you can see, this is the main body of the knit. So I'm just going to grab a few safety pins. And if you don't have any safety pins, you could literally just use a bit of yarn and thread it through and knot it to mark this as well. So the highest point of this antler is here. And the highest point of this antler is here, because they're kind of wonky. And then the head starts at around here, I would say. And then the head ends at around here. And then the width of the ears, I would aim for like here and here. So you can see that that's nicely mapped out now. So the top of the horns, the head, the ears, and then the bottom of the face. So I know exactly where I'm starting now. And then what I'll do is I'll literally just begin sewing exactly the same way as before, all the green sections, and then I'll go over and do the red section after. It's a few hours later now. It's about 6:30. I've just had dinner, but I need to start working because we're going to go and watch House of Gucci at the cinema. So this is Susie, please. She's sneezing. We have almost a reindeer and the sleeves done so far. I think tomorrow I'll definitely finish it and then I'll be able to wash it. But yeah, progress is going very well. Hello everyone. It's day 2. Did I tell you I was going to go see the Gucci movie last night? It was very entertaining. I just wish Jared Leto wasn't there. That's my full review. So I am planning on finishing this jumper now. I have still got like half of the reindeer's face to do, the hem and the neck. So I'm probably just going to work on this quite late tonight. Same stitch for now, but I might try and do a different stitch for the red shiny lines coming off of his nose. I never know what to call them. They're kind of like stink lines, but for light. So I'm going to carry on stitching this reindeer. As you can see, like I've taken most of my safety pins out now because as I've been going, I've been working. So I have just completed the reindeer. I used the same stitch for the red. I just finished all the green first and then I went over it with the red. Can you tell it's supposed to be Rudolph? Oh my god. This is actually quite speedy. I'll, at the end of the video, I will put a total amount of time that it took me, so you'll have kind of an estimate of where it'll take you as well. So I've just started to work on the neckline of this. So as you can see, there's like the same zigzag that is on the cuff, but slightly bigger on the neck. If you wanted to be super accurate about this, you could measure out each point and be like, oh, that's 5 centimeters, that's 5 centimeters, that's 5 centimeters, but I'm just kind of winging it. But I just thought I would explain this placement of these safety pins. So basically I've lined them up so that I can just sew to where the safety pins are connected, and then it will give me an accurate idea of where exactly I should be sewing, because it just takes way less concentration and it's just so much easier. So it'd look something like that when it's eventually done. I have just finished the neck. It is so close to being finished, and then I'm going to use exactly the same technique that I used on the neck around the hem, and then we are done. I think it looks so Christmassy, and like we're trying to go for kind of like kitschy Christmas as well, which I'm really enjoying. Hello. I don't know where I left off yesterday. It's Thursday now. I was meant to get this finished on Tuesday, but it's just not happened because life's got in the way. Christmas is stressing me out, you know, very fitting for this video. But I got up to here on the hem. It's so close to being done. I literally just have the back hem to finish, and then I'll try it on and show you. So all the embroidery is finished. All I need to do is secure the tag and then give it a wash. But it's looking pretty good. This neck is very Kermit the Frog, but I think that is very festive. So cute. I'm gonna try it on. So this is the finished jumper. I like to tuck my jumpers in like that, but I should probably show you. So cute. You can see his little face, and I think this green thread will fluff up once I wash it because it's mohair. So the back's more plain, but then we've got the embroidery around here and on the cuffs. And you could do this with anything, like you could just do the embroidery on the cuffs and the neck, or you could do just the reindeer, or you could do something completely different. I would love to see if you do it. Please tag me. I think that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you attempt a sustainable Christmas jumper for yourself. I will be putting this jumper up on the shop to purchase, along with a couple of other embroidered jumpers and some balaclavas on Saturday the 4th of December. So if you're watching after that, check out my shop. There will be a link below where you can purchase it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.